we used to go out on tours, especially to jungles and picnic spots, and I used to take a lot of photographs because we had a studio. My father was a very good photographer. So he told me that learning photography up to this point is all right. Why don't you just learn it properly? I mean, photography as photography. So he told me the way. He said there is a film institute. You better go there. One of my relatives have done a course from there. So moment I heard that, so my interest in MSc started fading out, and I sort of journeyed to FTI. Fortunately, got through the interview and got into it. But before that, right from my school days, I got interested in this thriller reading. There used to be a monthly called Jasusi Dunia, written by a famous Pakistani writer, Ibn Safi. I mean, I think everyone in North India has been brought on Ibn Safi. Great writing, great thriller. While reading it, used to take us in certain visuals, which never left you till today. These visuals are stuck, these characters are stuck. This Colonel Vinod, Rajesh, Hamid, all these characters are stuck in my mind, and somehow I think it got percolated in CID, R, ACP and all that, are all those characters which I read in my childhood. And when I entered FTI, this reading continued, but by the time now it has shifted to Hemingway and Steinbeck, and I sort of started understanding what human relations are and what kind of situations people get into. And by second year, I also realized that I've got into a wrong course. I should have applied for direction. So whatever stories and all that, like Hitchcock and all that stories I was reading, I tried to, palm it off to my direction friends, direction course friends. So why not make your diploma film on these kind of stories? But I think in FTI there is a general tendency to look down upon these kind of stories. This kind of because they are Godard and Bresson's rule till today. It's a different kind of atmosphere. I mean, so that's it. It's not deriding that kind of cinema. It's just that kind of atmosphere was there. So I thought that if somebody else makes this kind of story, I would learn something from it, but I never got a chance of doing that. And then from FTI, I came here. Of course, financially the situation was very bad, and that somehow made me to join Doordarshan. I became a news cameraman, and we used to shoot news on film, and that opened another world for me besides whatever I intended to do. This world was of poverty, rich, hotels, restaurant, outdoors, locations in India. I did everything. And during that, because we used to shoot a lot of handhelds and all that, I also learned the power of camera in this way. Whatever I had learned in FTI, that I think the real training started when I was there, and the advantage was that the camera became part of you, which happens very rarely, because you started thinking in terms of visuals, and camera was part of body. You just command and the camera used to behave. I employed those camera movements, those shots and all that. I still till today I use them in my thriller making. That was also first time we started watching TV, and there were a lot of imported programs being shown. And one of them was this the famous program Old Fox, which till today people try to remake or copy. That program at that time, I think it was about 50-year-old program now, but it had a language. It had a language which I think has stood the test of time till today. It had a definite language of telling certain scenes, telling stories in certain ways, and it had very crazy camera movements. So that we started learning slowly that how a particular scene get transformed into visuals and get transformed with through spatial dialogues through these 3-4 guys who were acting in that. And the camera was not shy. I mean to say that it was trying to break all the kinds of language, whatever we have learned. We had learned so far. There had to be mid shot, there got to be close-ups, there got to be long shots. If you are shooting particular kind of thing, the camera would just move away from actor, go somewhere, come back, and it's all happening during one scene, during the dialogues and all that. It was fascinating. I think unconsciously I sort of imbibed that, and I'm using those camera movements, my training in news coverages. So all those got combined with my training in FTI as cameraman. And I evolved a different kind of language. And over the period I have also, because I am basically a cameraman, and then I become director and writer, I'm sort of gifted in a way that I'm thankful to God that moment I read something, it automatically gets transformed into visuals. I don't have to sort of struggle to find that how this scene will look, how this scene should be shot or something. So it just starts flowing in my mind. Okay, while watching those programs, I thought, why not? Because I was covering crime also and all that, I thought, why not make this kind of serial on Doordarshan? So that's easier said than done, because Doordarshan has its own policy, and at that time it was very, very conservative. So I sort of suggested, then they say, why not meet the police commissioner? So that was around 75. I met the police commissioner. He was also fascinated. Fortunately, city had a very forward-looking commissioner. Mr. Tankiwala, I believe I met. He said, of course, why not? So he introduced me to crime branch, and I started spending my lot of time in crime branch. I met all these famous detectives, Wakatkar, Pense, Sahasrabudhe, Wagle, and it was amazing. It was another world. I used to watch them, how they are sort of interrogating, how they are going through a case and all that. So again, this camera plus reading plus this actual watching and listening to these guys, it get transformed into a solid idea that okay, we can actually make this kind of serial for Doordarshan. At the time, nobody had heard of this kind of thing can be done. There was no system at that time to show a regular serial, because there were regular programs, nothing else. So it just got hidden somewhere, and it took many years for it to get to come up. But then in about 83, 84, Mr. Tatari heard this idea and he said, why not make it? I said, ठीक है. But before, one very interesting thing had happened when the mind and heart was saying, okay, make this kind of program, write these stories, get it done. I had the stories, I had the ideas, I had the visuals. but I didn't know how to write. Everything was there. Somebody said, okay, do it tomorrow. I didn't realize at that time if I had got the permission, how would I have made it? Because I didn't know how to write. And I didn't know anybody else who could write that. Because then again we had to go through the whole process. I would have to take the writer to crime branch and then listen to it and then come back and write in certain way. Top of that, I also did not know how to converse with a writer. Our limited knowledge in FTI was meeting screenplay writing students, and we have never spoken to the teacher who was teaching the screenplay, because somehow in film institute at that time nobody ever taught the students the value of writing. So when actually I sat down to write first script, I realized that I just cannot write a single word. I had the ideas, I knew how the story will flow, but that thing was not coming out of the pen. So I went to Anil Tejani's house. Anil Tejani is 1 year was junior to me in FTI, but we were great friends, and he was a brilliant student. That whole batch was brilliant. Janu, Anil, and I think there were 15 students. They were calling themselves Cine Pendre. So Anil was one of those Pendres, So I went to his house at Pedder Road. I told him, Anil, I have to make this program, but you teach me how to write. So he heard the story. He said, you have to write yourself. I'll give you a place. You sit down here, and I will tell you how to write, and you write yourself. He helped me. So he told me this could be your first scene. Till that point, I had this much knowledge that whether this scene is good or not good, whether this scene is required or not. So I could at least argue with him at this point. Beyond this, I had no knowledge. That we had heard about scenes, shots, we have been taking for years. But when you are writing, how do you transform your ideas into scenes, lines, shots? And it's the most difficult thing in the world. So that was my first experience. And even then it took me months, I used to go to his house whenever I had time, I could find time from my regular job. And then somehow it got fizzled out, and I stopped going. And he also got busy in some, because he was already doing feature films. He was just trying to help me. So in 83, 84, Mr. Tadari said, okay, let's make a film on that, because I had narrated him the story. So I said, I tried to find out that story and all that. I realized it may still be with the Anil. So I phoned him, I went to his house and I said, Anil, by chance have you kept something? So he's a very meticulous person. He took out the file and he gave it to me. There were some papers on that, whatever, and I realized that this is what we had written. And then again it was not enough, but the assignment was there, the base was there, the script was not complete. So I sat for 5-6 days, and I don't know how I managed to write the script, and that was my first film, Seth Charlin. It was based on a real case, a headless body. A head was found in Raj Bhavan, and it was a big sensation at the time that how could a head be found in Raj Bhavan? So cops thought somebody in Raj Bhavan has murdered somebody in Raj Bhavan. That was a fit case to make the first film. In spite of Anil helping me, in spite of Anil telling me, in spite of I having the story, in spite of spending so much time with the story, so much time with the idea. I found the first word will not just come out of the pen, it just refuses to come out of the pen, you know. You spend hours doodling and thoughts are, you know, crossing your mind, but they refuse to come out of your mind. That's why I realized that writing is the most difficult thing in the world. Person who could write is, I said, is a gifted guy. Even if person could write 7-8 lines, I would sort of keep him above all our other professions. Because somebody who could think of an idea, somebody who could who could have an original thought, and somebody who could transfer that thought on paper is a guy who should be respected. Not the director or cameraman who can transform that thought into visuals. Of course, they are important, but the basic thought, if somebody can write and can provide you regularly, constantly original thoughts, he is the guy who is the key to the whole system.
How did you become a writer?
Continuing from my first film, How I Made It, then I made a Marathi serial called Ek Shunya Shunya. There again I had actual police cases. I had whole police force behind me, helping me to make it. And first case was I had taken a story by Mr. Srikant Sinkar, and I had chosen the story first, and then later on I went to his house, and that after making the pilot, because this was constantly pinching me that I must meet this guy, and Sinkar was a very, very big name at that time. So I went to his house and I told him, sir, I am going to use one of your story. In fact, I have already used it. So he looked at me, he says, thank God that you at least came to me, because people don't do that. People just flinch the story and never pay for it. So I asked him what kind of payment you would expect, because I was thinking if he asked me too much money, that will be the budget of my pilot. But he asked me a small amount, and I was like paid him. I had carried checkbook, I gave him the check. He was in tears actually, such a great guy, but he could not believe some guy is coming to his house and telling him that we have used your story and we want to pay. In fact, as the meeting got over, he offered me his whole collection. He says, take it. But I didn't have money to take all the stories, because he had written hundreds of stories. And besides whatever I had read till that time, once I started reading Srikant Sinkar, it transformed my life completely, because I had realized I am going to make thrillers only now. But storytelling, Sinkar's style is very, very original and it's remarkable. He also had spent his time in crime branch. He had written about inspectors' lives, cases, but the way he unfolds a story, it's original, it's purely Indian, I would say. I mean, I don't think so he has copied it from anywhere. I have read a lot of Hindi pulp and all that, and later on we started reading a lot of this pulp in English and all that. I realized that all have been, these ideas and stories have been stolen by writers. Most of the pulp writing in Hindi is sort of chori and translation only. But this guy is original. And more and more, you know, I got involved in his writing. More I started reading his stories, and more I got, you know, admired in his style of telling, and that is still seen in my storytelling. And because I just give you an example, it will start here, so that automatically transforms into your visual. It says a cigarette is taken out of a packet. Time is 11:30. At 11:31 the match is lit and the cigarette is lit. So you can immediately say, this is my close-up. This is my mid shot. Then you say crime branch में इंस्पेक्टर सूर्य ने अपना ड्रॉर बंद किया, पैकेट रख दिया. So you know this is your mid shot. You see, the way he used to write to you, it tells you the visuals. And then he would say at 11:45 the jeep started from Crawford Market. It was heading towards Haji Ali. And then while describing the path, the passage, he would unfold a few lines of the story, where they're heading. Again he would hide. Then again he would talk about inspectors, his life, what has happened, what happened at 9:30, what happened at 8:30, how did he get up, how did he reach. This flash forward, flashbacks. That was, I think, I would say, the real training in writing. Still, it was not proper training in screenplay writing, but at least it set me on a path to understand writing and how to translate it into visuals and how to start talking in terms of visual, in terms of emotions, in terms of how we, converted certain scenes which would say not possible to be shown on screen, to make them palatable, make them turn into tears or laughter or something. So that whole in crime writing, even that can be done. This I learned from his writing. And that is what I see today also. When I get a story, I start to read a story and I see whether those elements are there in the story or not. I have a sort of call a mapdand in which I have tried to fit the story. I mean, that I evolved myself. I mean, it's just my way of looking at the story. So if the story fits into that, something in back of my mind tells me that it will do well. And sometimes I realize the writer has written certain things which he is not aware that he has written a fantastic thing, but he has not exploited it. That I can see. So I help the writer I point out that this was the key which you have missed. So why don't we exploit it? So that's how this give and take, it goes on. Another thing I realized on the way when we started doing stories on a regular basis, like we are on air, we are few lucky guys who are on air since last 17 years, continuously. So we shoot every day. Every day we write, every day we have production meetings, every day we have production problems, every day we have writing problems. There are days when we have nothing to shoot, but shoot has to take place. So in that emergency period, something has to be written, something has to be sent. So this discipline I maintain. I write for about 5-6 hours every day since so many years. And that has all those mistakes I have committed in this writing has taught me many things. Writing in such a way, sometimes I had to rewrite everything, sometimes I had to write fresh scenes, fresh dialogues. Sometimes you find scenes not working, but scene has to be written in about half an hour, 1 hour, and it has to be sent. It's a very amazing process. Wherever I am, even if I was in America or where I'm shooting in Switzerland or something, I write from there and send it, even with time difference. So once I was in Paris, so shoot for For a 9 o'clock shoot here, I had to get up 4 o'clock and write there, but I did that and said it. Because it's art production, so I can't run away from it. But this whole process of writing every day, reading stories every day, dividing it into scenes, then scenes into dialogues, this is an amazing process. And when you get a good scene, I mean, you feel very happy, okay, that the day is made. And at the time when I'm surrounded by 7-8 writers, so I feel running to those writers and tell this is what I discovered today, so why not, let's share it. So I come to the office and we all share it, that this is what we have written today. It's really good because on the way I realized that nobody should discard an idea. I realized the value of idea because we need ideas every day. So a few years back you could have said, no, I don't like it at all. But today I tell all the writers that please don't be ashamed of your ideas. Every idea is gold because ideas are not easy to produce. कुछ भी आइडिया आया कि मैं सड़क पे आ रहा था, मुझे कुछ 2 रुपए का नोट दिखा, मैंने उसे उठाया, अचानक लाइटनिंग चमकी, ये हो गया वो हो गया। कोई बोलेगा यार ये तो बहुत बार सुना है, नोट रोड पे गिरा, किसी ने फंसाया, किसी ने क्या, भगवान ने फेंका, सुना है। ऐसे सुना है, करेक्ट है, बट रोड पे नोट गिरा है, कोई उसको उठाने वाला है, उठाने के बाद क्या होगा ये अभी भी फैंटास्टिक है। ये तो हमारे हाथ में, इस पे तो हम कुछ कर सकते हैं। सो इसी आइडिया को गोल्ड बना सकते हैं। You say, why not? So let's keep it aside. Don't ever discard an idea. An idea is to be taken. We know the process, what can be done with this. So let's sit together and make a story out of it. That's how we make, every day we create a story. We get an idea, we know we are making supernatural or we are making a thriller, we are making a detective story. We know these elements will come in here, these elements will come in at this point, this will come at this point. So beyond that, then it becomes a bit of sort of juggling in scenes. But to inspire everybody, to inspire all the writers that this idea is great, this is great, that's my job. And for that, it took me many years to understand the idea, understand the script. I don't say that all the writers are bad, all the writers are great, all the writers are good. I see them in a way that some writers have evolved. Some writers are progressive. Some writers are still saying, हमने कुछ नहीं किया अभी तक. We have still a long way to go. Some people who have come to a point, you say, we know everything, whatever we are writing is the final, take it or leave it. That stage, I think, is not good for good writing, because writer's journey is continuous, and unless I am suffering from this insecurity that I must I must learn something, I must get good ideas, I must get fantastic ideas. How come he is getting ideas? How come I am not getting? How come I didn't get this idea? So that anxiety, that insecurity will force me to invent new things. So while not discarding some writer's idea, I inspire them to go for newer heights. I have also come across writers who have written scripts, but they don't understand their own script. If they don't understand their own script, how can they expect other will understand? Everybody knows in this field, our field, that understanding script.